Hey everybody, it's Anita Foster with the Arlington ISD, being joined by Superintendent Dr. Marcelo Cavazos, and what is the last day of school in a very unconventional year.
Unconventional to say the least, Anita. This has been a challenging school year. I do want to take the opportunity to thank our students, our parents, and our entire community, our staff, for adapting to something that we did not expect this school year. Adapting the instruction, adapting the service, the meal services. We know that our schools adapt to changes, and this is a remarkable one that our staff has accomplished. And I think it's important during this time to just reflect on what has really been accomplished through this closure. And that's because we have a great team at AISD. We have exceptional people who work at AISD, and so I just want to thank them. I start every Zoom with a thank you, so I'll start this one too.
Well, that's really good to hear, because you've mentioned before that we should look back at the challenges that we've already overcome. Setting up the learning hub, getting feeding operations underway, trying to shrink the digital divide. But if we can overcome those challenges, we know that we can overcome those ahead.
That's correct.
And there are going to be a few.
There will be.
We've got some big topics to talk about today. In particular, we're going to discuss graduations for the class of 2020, what will happen with food services during the summer, and then the question on everybody's mind is, what does the fall look like? So let's just jump right in. Graduation 2020.
So graduation was certainly a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster ride with planning, with working with our community partners, with different guidelines coming from the state. The roller coaster eventually stopped, and we landed at AT&T Stadium. Thanks to the generosity of Jean and Jerry Jones Foundation, Charlotte Jones in particular, and many of you have seen the video where she helped us announce that AT&T Stadium will be the site of our graduation. So June 5th, 6th, and 7th, all our 7 high schools will be able to graduate at AT&T Stadium, and we're looking forward to that event and celebrating our students.
Well, amongst the excitement, and there is a lot, it's been great to see on Facebook and through our email box that people are really excited that our kids get this opportunity. But there's some concerns too about what the district and AT&T Stadium are going to do to ensure the safety of everybody.
That's correct, Anita. So safety is our first priority in this type of event, in graduation. So we will be implementing the protocols designed by the state. We've been working closely with our fire department, with AT&T Stadium officials as well. We'll have temperature checks, we'll have screenings, we'll have face coverings and masks for our graduates. That'll be, by the way, with their logo and their school colors and things like that. We know that we'll have appropriate entry and exit, and of course the social distancing that's so important. I also want to share that this is also an opportunity. We've been having our live streamed events, and our graduation is live streamed as well. So that'll be available too for individuals who cannot attend or would rather not attend for a number of reasons. But we want to make sure we're safe in this type of celebration. So that'll be available as well.
Well, good. We are looking forward to graduation, so thank you for the update. And I just want to remind you all too that we have a website set up that has all of the information about graduations. We update it very often. You can find it AISD.net/graduation. Now let's turn our attention to the summer. We have served a remarkable number of students through the student meal plan up to this point, but school's out today. What happens for the summer?
So Anita, we know, and we've learned this even more so during closure, we know that meal service is a fundamental need in our community. We are committed to continuing that service throughout the summer as well. We'll tweak some of the sites, we'll tweak some of the times as well because of summer and summer heat. But we're committed to providing that meal service throughout the summer for our students and our families.
You guys can get the information on the feeding program. Just go to our website, AISD.net/coronavirus, and look at the student meal plan. You'll find the new locations and the new times listed there. And these take effect on Monday, June 1st, so next Monday.
That's correct. And I want to thank Food Services as well, Anita, because we are reaching over 1.3 million meals served since closure.
That's incredible.
And that is incredible. And it's a large operational task, logistics task, but at the end of the day, it's a fundamental need that we're meeting for our families and specifically our students. So I want to thank our food service staff, our custodians, our security, everyone involved with this meal service program since we've had it since closure. We're going to continue that in the summer. So we're going to change a few things. We're going to change the sites and some of the times because of summer and summer heat. But we're going to provide that service during the summer because we know it's a fundamental need for our community.
Well, I think that'll keep a lot of our parents happy and a lot of the kids happy who have enjoyed being able to make a visit to one of the feeding sites.
Absolutely.
All right, now let's get to the topic everyone is dying to know about. And I will just say from my perspective, I've heard everything under the sun. Everybody back to school, nobody back to school, some kids back to school, some kids at home. What do you know about what the fall could possibly look like?
So we don't know, Anita. We don't know what the fall will look like. And I know that that's not a satisfying answer right now, but that's the reality. What we do know, though, is that we will have a number of forces that shape that decision. One is TEA and their guidelines for how we operate school, which, by the way, there are guidelines how we operate summer programming, if we have summer programming. Local health officials will also inform that decision. Our operations team will inform that decision as well. We have a large task force that is working on that very diligently to work scenarios as to how we would come back to school. What does the implementation of social distancing and health screenings and things like that look like? Those are things that are being worked on and will continue to work on. We have one big commitment, and that commitment is that safety is going to be our priority. And so as we look at the different scenarios and ways we could come back to school, we want that lens to be safety first, but also understanding that teaching and learning is most effective in front of a teacher in a classroom. So all those things will inform our decision. We're going to continue to have updates even in the summer because these things will continue to emerge. So I thank everyone again for their patience, for their understanding, but also want everyone to know that this is something that is persistently being worked on to make sure that we can operate safely in the fall.
Well, I know there are a lot of other questions that parents and community members are going to have about our return to school in the fall. So I just want to remind folks that we do man our email box, pio@aisd.net. Send your questions in and we'll do our very best to get them answered as quickly as possible. But to your point, we don't have a lot of answers yet about the fall, but it sounds like the task force is going to help form some solutions. Dr. Cavazos, is there any way that we could roll out a plan that would be satisfying to everyone?
So Anita, at this point, I don't think there would be a way to roll out a plan that meets everybody's needs. I will tell you, though, that there are some guidelines that we will follow and will establish as well to make sure everyone is safe. This is a time to continue to adapt, and I think that adaptation will continue well into the fall of this coming year as well.
I know there's going to be a lot of questions that people have about how we start school again in the fall. So thank you for sharing with us about the task force and that folks are looking at all of these possible solutions to the beginning of the new school year. Dr. Cavazos, thank you for joining us on this last day of school year 2020. Certainly unusual.
That's correct. That's correct. Very unusual, but it's one that we can look back and say, you know, even in the face of this type of circumstance, our staff and our community has come together in a remarkable way to accomplish meeting the needs of students.
Well, we appreciate you very much. You've been a North Star guiding our students, our teachers, the staff, and the community to stay strong during these very difficult times. I want to thank all of you for joining us as well and remind you that our website has a wealth of information, AISD.net/coronavirus. We're going to talk to you again real soon, but until then, I just encourage you to stay safe, keep social distancing, and we'll see you soon.